Married at First Sight, Season 14, Episode 8, and we're talking about Michael and Jasmina, and I'm calling this, Jasmina says she is never wrong. So Jasmina confronted her friend and challenged her friend and said she can admit when she's wrong, but here's the rub, y'all. She says, but she ain't never wrong, so she ain't never got to admit it. You see what I'm talking about? Now you're trying to figure out why a beautiful girl like Jasmina hasn't been able to get a boyfriend in the whole state of Massachusetts. And there you have it. Jasmina won a boyfriend from the BTS boy band. She need to go on and go to Korea because we already know she ain't attracted to Michael. And y'all know I didn't even know Michael was that short. But Michael is, I think he's even shorter than Jasmina. So I don't think that Jasmina has a physical attraction to Michael, but that still doesn't mean that Jasmina's got some real problems. She's got some problems on the way she moves and shakes out here in this world. And whether she's with Michael or not, she gonna need to figure out a new strategy because she ain't gonna have no man if she keeps rolling like this. All you people who are waiting for more ammunition to get on Michael's back and call him a liar, well, guess what? You didn't get it this episode. In fact, what you got was the opposite. You actually got Jasmina lying. What you got was more of Michael trying to go around, ask for advice, how to be a better person, how to be a better husband. This time he solicited the help of his sister. And he said, let me sit down with my sister. Maybe my sister can give me some insight on how to deal with Jasmina. He sat there trying to really learn. He was there to learn something, as opposed to Jasmina. I don't know what she went to her friend for, but it definitely wasn't to learn nothing. I think Michael's sister actually gave her some good advice. She tried to tell Michael, be patient. You know what? You don't know what Jasmina has been through. You don't know what she's gone through, who her past boyfriends are. You don't know what scars she's bringing. And you know what? She's right. But you know why Michael doesn't know? Because Jasmina hasn't told him. And like I tell you, it's a funny thing about the truth. Some people like to talk about how they don't get it, but they don't also like to share it. So has Jasmina shared her horror stories with Michael about how she has been treated poorly in past relationships? No, but Michael has. See, Jasmina likes to hammer you over the head when you give her truth, but she's not vulnerable. She doesn't like to share her truth. So you know what? Maybe if she shared a little bit of her past with Michael, maybe he would understand some of her skittishness in certain areas. But no, she don't want to be vulnerable. She doesn't want to open up. And Michael's sister says, you know what? That's probably part of her problem. You're right. It is part of her problem. You know, Jasmina called herself going to her girlfriend and asking her girlfriend for his help. And at first, I was like, what? A girlfriend been married 8 years and has not been married, a fiance for 8 years? I was thinking this girl might need to be put a ring on it because 8 years is a long time to be engaged to somebody. But you know what? In the end, she actually came through with some good advice. So I wasn't mad at her. You know, when Jasmina tried to roll that whole story out about what happened to Michael, you notice how Jasmina retold the story differently this time? She told the story that Michael had a tone with her and she don't like a tone. Well, that's not what you told us before, Jasmina. Before you told me it wasn't a tone, you told us that he was yelling, he was screaming, and he was aggressive. But all of a sudden now, you rolling the story back when you talking to your girlfriend. And in fact, you rolled the story back when you talked to Michael's sister at the dinner party as well. So which is the truth, Jasmina? Is the truth that Michael was loud and aggressive, or was the truth he just had a tone to him? And that was what Michael was trying to tell you. He was trying to say, I didn't yell and scream. Now, I might have had a tone. He admitted to that. But I know I wasn't yelling and screaming when it was aggressive. And now we hear Jasmina rolling back the story. You see, y'all, you too quick to believe Jasmina for everything she says. You better wait for the tape. You better wait for the tape. And when Jasmina tried to tell that story about how Michael had lied about his roommates, you know what that girl told him who's been in a relationship for 8 years? She said that same thing I said. Well, maybe the reason why he lied was because he thought the truth would have been worse. Maybe he was afraid of how you take the truth. And that's what I told you. You know what? I'm not excusing a lie, but sometimes you got to ask yourself why a person lies. And what that world picked up on was the same thing I thought. Michael didn't know how Jasmina would take the fact that he lived with 2 women. That's why he lied to her. And I keep telling you, when you're not a safe space, you're going to get people lying to you. A lot of women out here trying to talk about how they seem to meet men who lie to them all the time. You know what? You might want to look at yourself because I don't meet a whole lot of liars. You know why? Because I'm a safe space. People can tell me stuff that inside I may be going, ooh, damn, that's some shit right there. But you know what? I do not judge them for it. I sit back and I listen to it. And as a result, I keep getting people who come to me open and honest and with the truth. But when you judge people with their truth, you know what they do? They stop telling you the truth. The difference between Jasmina and Katina is Olajuwon spills his truth to Katina all the time. And you know what? So she actually learns more about Olajuwon because she don't judge him for it. But Katina's friends, they want to judge Olajuwon for his truth. But Katina, she sits back and she listens and she gets the whole story. But not Jasmina. She hears the truth and she hits you over the head with it. Well, you know what? Michael ain't gonna tell him the truth no more. I guarantee you that. Jasmina says, you know what? The problem with Michael though is he thinks he's also right. Well, you know what that girlfriend said to you? Well, it sounds like you just alike. Just like I said, girlfriend. Two bulls. And Jasmina turned up her face with that RBF face, as one of my commenters instructed me with this RBF resting B face. That's exactly what she did. Jasmina don't never like to hear anything she don't like to hear. She turned up that face. And when that friend told her and put that mirror up to her face and said, it sounds just like you, she didn't like it. But you know what? It was the doggone truth. Jasmina said, I can admit when I'm wrong. The problem is I'm just never wrong. Like I said, she don't know how to look in the mirror. When Jasmina met with Michael's sister at that little party where Jasmina was trying to play some BTS Uno, girl, don't nobody want to play that. But anyway, when Jasmina was talking to Michael's sister told her, you know, he was sweet. He was very caring. Now, let's see what you do with that information, Jasmina, because you sure like to take the bad information and run with it. But let me see you run with this little bit of good information. Because that sister told you that Michael was sweet and he had a big heart. She said, in fact, that if Michael's at a restaurant and he doesn't like some food, he's not going to be the person that sends it back. You know what? That does tell you a lot about a person. But we know Jasmina sent it back. Not only will she send it back, she'll leave a little tip and she'll go leave a bad review. I know who Jasmina is. Another thing, Jasmina's friend who came to the party, she sat back and talked about Jasmina and said, you know what, how petty Jasmina can be and how the two of them can go back and forth. And by the time you finish, they don't even know what they're arguing about. That was another clue. See, Jasmina always wants to put up what other people say about Michael, but now we're starting to get a little bit more insight on her. Insight that I really didn't need because I had already figured it out. But maybe y'all need to see it. Now you hear it. Y'all can keep getting on Michael if you want to. And I said I would get on him when I saw some more evidence. But you know what? I didn't see no more evidence here. And in fact, all it did, this episode did, was make me rest more assured in the fact that Jasmina, she got the bigger problem. She has the bigger problem in this relationship. And I don't know if she's going to be able to fix it in time because I really don't even think she's attracted to Michael. But that's it, y'all. Talk to you later. Bye.